Whispers from the Abyss. Chapter 1, The Drowning Town. The small fishing village of Ravens Hollow sat on the edge of an endless black sea. The waves crashed against the cliffs, whispering secrets no human could understand. The town had always been strange, but its people never spoke of the disappearances. They never mentioned the way the ocean called their names at night. It was as if they knew something they refused to share. When marine biologist Dr. Daniel Carter arrived to study the region's unexplored deep-sea trench, he thought it would be a routine expedition. But Ravens Hollow was anything but ordinary. Chapter 2, The Warning. Daniel set up his equipment near the docks. The villagers watched from a distance, whispering among themselves. An old fisherman named Elias Graves approached him. "You shouldn't be here, son," Elias muttered, his eyes clouded with fear. Daniel frowned. "I'm just here to study the trench." Elias shook his head. "The trench is not meant to be disturbed. People who go near it never return." Daniel laughed nervously. "You mean the disappearances? I've heard the stories, but surely there's a logical explanation." Elias' voice dropped to a whisper. "It watches, and when it calls your name 3 times, you belong to it." Daniel dismissed him as just another superstitious old man. But that night, when the first whisper came, he wasn't so sure anymore. Chapter 3, The First Whisper. The town was silent after midnight. No waves, no wind, unnatural stillness. Then, in the darkness, he heard it. "Daniel." A voice so soft, it could have been the wind. But it wasn't. Daniel sat up in bed, heart pounding. He looked out the window, nothing but the dark sea stretching endlessly. "It's just my imagination," he told himself. But deep inside, he knew. Something had called his name. Chapter 4, Into the Abyss. The next day, Daniel and his research team prepared for their first deep dive into the trench. Their submarine, Neptune 3, descended into the abyss. The ocean grew darker, heavier, as if something ancient was waiting below. At 500 meters, their sonar picked up movement. "Did you see that?" his assistant, Mara, whispered. Something large passed in the distance, too big to be a whale. Then, over the radio, came the second whisper. "Daniel." Cold dread coiled in his stomach. "Did someone say my name?" he asked. His team looked at him, confused. No one said anything. The radio crackled. And then, the whisper came again. "Daniel, come closer." Daniel's blood froze. Something down there was calling to him. Chapter 5, The Forgotten Ones. Back on land, Daniel was shaken. He went to Elias. "You were right," he admitted. "Something is down there." Elias nodded gravely. "The abyss is not empty, boy. It is a prison." Daniel leaned in. "A prison for what?" Elias hesitated before answering. "For the forgotten ones, the things that existed before mankind. They sleep in the depths, but sometimes, they wake." Daniel's skin crawled. "What happens if they wake?" Elias met his gaze. "They call to us. They pull us into the dark, and once they speak your name 3 times, you are theirs." Daniel's throat went dry. He had heard his name twice. If the legend was true, he was running out of time. Chapter 6, The Last Whisper. That night, Daniel couldn't sleep. He listened to the waves. At exactly 3 a.m., it happened. "Daniel." The third whisper. His body locked up. A shadow moved outside his window. Something stood on the shore, just beyond the water's edge. Not human. Not of this world. It raised an impossibly long arm and pointed at him. Daniel felt himself move, his body no longer his own. He walked to the door, opened it. The thing waited, calling him. Daniel was about to step outside, but then Elias grabbed him. "Fight it," Elias yelled, "or you'll be lost forever." Daniel struggled, the pull of the abyss nearly overpowering him. Then, he shouted his own name. "I am Daniel Carter, and I do not belong to you." The creature screeched a horrible, inhuman sound. The moment shattered. And then, it was gone. Chapter 7, The Truth of the Abyss. Daniel left Ravens Hollow the next morning. Before he went, Elias told him the final truth. The abyss is always watching, always whispering, but as long as we refuse to listen, it has no power over us. Daniel never returned to the trench. But sometimes, in the middle of the night, he still heard it. A whisper, calling his name. And he would close his eyes, knowing he must never answer. Moral of the story: curiosity can be dangerous. Some secrets are meant to remain buried, and sometimes, the things that whisper in the dark should never be answered.